water. It's a team from Toronto, Canada. We, the North, are now we, the champions.
What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here, back with another Raptors Nation podcast. We are coming at you with another one of these pods. I got my guy Sean with me, as we are going to be talking the latest out of Raptors land. And then at the end, we're going to be making our playoff picks. Sean, I know you're probably not feeling the greatest just because your Lakers at the time of this recording are down 0-2 and things are not looking good.
No, they are not. Yeah, I mean, Denver's the best team in the league. I mean, I got the Laker fans trying to fake cancel me or whatever because I made my objective take as an analyst asking, giving my playoff picks. I said Denver in 6 before the series started, and it was, oh, Sean, you're a fake Laker fan. Oh, man, get this bum off of Lakers Nation. Oh, all right, bro. Obviously, I want the Lakers to win, but I'm going to be when it comes to my picks, I'm going to be objective.
I actually give you a lot of credit for that because, yeah, it does take balls to pick against the Lakers, especially when, that's your team. But look, people got to get it, right? When you cover basketball for a living, you got to be objective. You can't be biased. And Sean, he felt that the Lakers were not going to win the series. And so far, it's looking like he may, in fact, be right. So there is that fine line between fan and analyst, and sometimes that could get thrown off a little bit, just how much we're invested into our favorite sports teams. Sure. But you got to make the right call at the end of the day.
Yeah, really quick. Like, am I happy that I'm right? Hell no. I wanted to be wrong. Oh my God, Luca, I was equally as mad, if not more mad, as the entire fan base after each of those 2 losses.
And I believe it.
I was mad as hell. So I am upset that the Lakers are down 0-2. Even though I picked them to lose, I thought they were going to lose, but I can still be mad about it. Like, good grief.
Especially how it happened. Jamal Murray, Captain Canada.
I was even mad about that.
Unbelievable.
I was even mad. That's not the part I was mad at. I was honestly in shock. That was my more initial reaction. I was like, damn, this is what 76er fans felt like back in 2019.
Yeah, facts. I know. It was just one of those devastating shots. But
yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to the pod. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are going to dive right into it as the Raptors, they hope to get back into the glory days of their franchise. Right now, this is a team that their championship days, unfortunately, are behind them. Going back to those glory days of hitting that epic shot over Joel Embiid, getting to the conference finals, NBA finals. It feels like it was a decade ago. Meanwhile, it was only 5 years ago. But the Raptors, they are in the midst of their rebuild. They're trying to get back to the top of the mountain. What we did find out, though, Sean, is that the Raptors, they will have the 19th pick via the Indiana Pacers. So just when you thought things could not have gotten any worse for this Raptors team, they can't catch a damn break because they actually lose out on the tiebreaker results. The Pacers end up getting the worst possible pick via the tiebreaker results. So they could have gotten as far up as 16. Of course, knowing the Raptors' luck, they fall as low as 19. So they get the worst possible pick. Raptors have number 19. We know they have number 21. They're going to have a 45.8% chance of keeping their top
21 too?
Protected pick. No, 31.
I was about to say, wait, where does the first round pick come from?
No. They got 19. I am
way more optimistic about the rebuild now.
31 via Detroit, and then we'll find out May 12th if they keep their pick. But Sean, looking at this 19th pick, I know you've done a ton of mock drafts, but first of all, your reaction to the Raptors getting the short end of the stick again, and is there a potential hidden gem that the Raptors can take here that can, give us some hope as fans that things are going to work out?
So I was clapping to kind of throw a joke at you because the one of the teams that the Raptors are tied with, it just happens to involve the Lakers pick. The Lakers are actually, if they were to keep the pick, would pick at 17. So I laughed because that's kind of funny. I didn't know the Raptors also involved in that tiebreaker. So I'm sorry, Luca, but that was admittedly hilarious. Either way. It does suck, right? I think some of the guys I was thinking about for the Raptors at maybe between, I think the last time I did a mock, the Raptors were projected to have the 16th overall pick, which it is a difference, obviously, between 16 and 19, for example. So that does change your perspective, right? But this is a bad draft class from the standpoint of there is not a ton of star potential. We talked about this before, Luca, but I still think you can get a really good role player at 19. And from that perspective, I just think the position might change because, like, a guy that I thought about for the Raptors at 16 would be like Isaiah Collier if he's still there, a Jeremy McCain who almost guaranteed would still be there, right? Now we're talking more 19. I very highly doubt, definitely highly doubt that Jeremy McCain will be there because I just think the league right now is a little bit higher on Jeremy McCain because of how high his floor is, while still having decent upside. There's a possibility that Isaiah Collier can be at 19. I think Isaiah Collier, you really like him or you don't. I really like him. So if I'm a GM, I personally would take him as high as like 11, depending on, I forget who's it does depend on who 11 is. And I mean, there's some people who Luca think that Isaiah Collier is like in a low 20s or high 20s, technically, then like a 20th pick or something along those lines, which means he would be there at 19. So I mean, at that point, it's got like a crapshoot, especially in this draft. Is more so like, okay, cool. Who's the highest player on your board? And it sucks. I was texting a buddy of mine the other day. I've like completely stopped evaluating players for like a week now because of the Lakers playoff stuff or just the playoffs in general. But I am excited. I'll do a mock draft like this week or something like that. But yeah, I still think the Raptors can get a really quality role player at 19.
Yeah, so Bleacher Report put out their latest mock draft. They had the Raptors slated at number 17. They had Terrence Shannon Jr. Going to the Raptors. And then just looking at some other players they had around that kind of 16 to 19. Jacoby Walter at 19, they had going to the Philadelphia.
Okay. If Jacoby Walter's at 19, I'm sprinting. I'm lower on Jacoby Walter, but if he's there at 19, I'm taking him.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with that because the Raptors are going to go guard heavy in this draft. I think for sure 2 out of their 3 picks are going to be guards. I mean, some mock drafts have the Raptors taking 3 guards in the draft, and I guess it depends on like how they view their center position with the future of Jakob Poeltl.
Who, if you're on the Bleacher Report one, do you mind telling me who's like 16 to 21? You don't have to mention the team, so just the players in order.
Yeah, so they actually have Isaiah Collier at 15. And then after that, they have Tristan De Silva, 16. And then Terrence Shannon Jr., 17, like I said, going to the Raptors. And then Khalil Ware, 18. And then, Jacoby Walter, 19.
Who's 20?
Tyler Smith.
Those are 2 players I actually would kind of like for the Raptors. Tyler Smith is, if you wanted more of the stretch 5 route, but I guess you have Kelly Olynyk for that. But I mean, Jacoby Walter's there. I like Jacoby Walter more than Terrence Shannon. So I would take Jacoby Walter if I'm the Raptors there. But yeah, like where's Jeremy McCain at then in that mock? Like 12?
I'm looking right now. I don't see him in the top 20. Sorry. Yeah, what am I saying? He's at 13. Yeah,
I was about to say.
Yeah, he's at 13. I was going to say, wait, they left him off? No, he's at 13. Yeah.
He's not in the first row. Wait a minute, Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
That'd be crazy.
Then, yeah, like, you get to pick, even though I don't love Terrence Shannon, and I still have more stuff to get through on him. I mean, you're between him, Jacoby Walter. I don't think I'm taking Khalil Ware. I'm taking Terrence Shannon or Jacoby Walter or maybe like a Tyler Smith before I take Khalil Ware there. Yeah, I think that's still a good spot. And actually, you know what? Let me see. Is it like their most recent Bleacher Report mock draft?
Yeah, it's their most recent one. And they actually have Stephon Castle going to the Raptors at 6.
Huh.
So
that's
very interesting. Yeah, hard-nosed defensive guard. And
from 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let's see. So wait, if the board goes like this, you know what? Let me just share my screen then, I guess. And we can kind of.
This is via Bleacher Report's latest. We got a piece up on RaptorsNation.com looking at their 3 selections that they have the Raptors slated.
Okay. Dillingham goes 2. Reese goes 3. I would be bummed if Reach ever went 4. Nikola Topic with 5. Okay, so Castle 6. You would just have, only reason why I'm kind of interested about that pick is you would have to sell me on what his role would be for the Raptors. I love Castle. I actually bumped him up on my draft board. But like, I think he's definitely more of a fit player, and you would just have to sell me on what you're bringing Stephon Castle into Toronto to do, right?
That's
Like,
the thing.
if you're bringing Castleton to be a lead ball handler, then I'm like, okay, sure. If you bring him in to be like an off-ball wing, not even a wing, but like off-ball combo guard, think like I don't even want to say the word. I don't even want to say Jalen Suggs because he does get some off balls. But you get my point, right? If you bring him in to be more off-ball cut guy slasher that can defend, I hate the fit for the Raptors because like this is the last thing the Raptors need. Then like the Raptors inject some shooting into that daggone team, please.
They need shooting.
So hold on, wait. Who would I? Holland. Like honestly, if the board felt like that, I might have just taken Klingon at 6, or maybe you take like the super upside pick in Maz Buzelis.
He's been slated in 6 in a lot of mock drafts. And actually, okay, go on record. I don't think I've gotten your on record pick. If the Raptors do end up with 6, who's your number 1 that they should take? I know it's tough to say because depending on how the board falls, but like who would be your ideal guy at 6?
I think the perfect guy at 6 would be like a Reed Shepherd. I think that is the perfect guy at 6. I'm curious. I'm trying to remember who I mocked for you guys. I would find it. Maybe I will. But that would be like my dream pick because you have the on ball and the ridiculous shooter, right? Where that's where the off ball fit is. But he's also like one of the more, just well-rounded on ball players as well, right? That does a lot of stuff in that regard. And I do think he is a super good on ball player. I'm trying to think, man. Who else? Again, if you want to go really big on the upside, Amaz Buzelis could do. I'm lower on him, but upside, sure. If you thought you were contending next season, Don't Connect would have been the pick for me. Just really revamp like the shooting of that team. For the Raptors in my first mock, I had the Raptors take, and it's not loading. So I don't know. Who do you want, Luca?
It's so tough. I mean, I've seen so many different guys be slated there. Yeah, like I would say, Reed Shepherd. I mean, he's as high as number 4 on this mock draft. Stephon Castle, again, it would come down to what his role would be. I think a Ron Holland, honestly, I'm really intrigued by him.
Yeah,
he's number 7 on this mock draft.
Yeah.
So.
Is
even Donovan Klingon. He was in one of the previous mock drafts. I think it was ESPN or Bleacher Report. And again, that's an intriguing one. Going based on like where do the Raptors see Pirtle? Like, are they going to maybe trade him? If they do want to trade him, do you fill in that role with a young center? And this would be that guy. So there's a lot. That's so interesting about this draft. There's like so many different ways the Raptors could go. And it's like in previous drafts, okay, you knew Raptors slated 6th or whatever 4th. Okay, you know who they're going to be taking, or like of like the 1 or 3 guys. Like it's one of those drafts where it could go either way.
Yeah. Now the one thing I will say about this, and this was I think I posted this a couple of weeks ago. My top 6 is way different because again this was off of like first film thoughts and very limited player grades. My top 6 when Alex R, Nikola Topic, Zachary Sachet, which would change now for sure. Cody Williams, that I still think won't change for me. I love Cody. Matas Buzelis, that would change because I'm lower on him. And then Reed Shepherd had the Raptors take him at 6.
Yeah, I mean, that could very well happen too. There's there's going to be one of the most, I think, unpredictable drafts. And yeah, like I think now people are starting to say like even, Sar is going to be the consensus number 1, but
I think so. I just think he's just the best player in this draft for sure.
I would agree with that.
I just think he's the best player.
So we'll see if the Raptors can hit on some picks because I'll tell you what, Sean, they're going to need to hit on their picks, especially after what we've seen with Siakam. So I did want to bring this up on the pod because I've been seeing a lot of discourse online, and I haven't fully come out with like anything via X. I was gonna write a whole spiel, but I'm like, let me just hit for the pod. And that is Pascal Siakam. So Siakam is coming off incredible performances against the Milwaukee Bucks. 36 and 37, if I'm not mistaken, game 1 and game 2. He's leading the playoffs right now in points. Yeah, he had 37 the other night, and then he had 36. So yeah, there I was right on the money. And he's just been unbelievable. He's been playing like an all-star. It's been looking like his team, Pacers, tie up the series. They're officially the first road team of these playoffs to get a win. And that led Raptors fans from everywhere, even reporters, guys that cover this team, shout out to Josh Lewinberg, who does a great job of doing that, to come out with their opinion that they still can't believe that the Raptors fumbled in terms of trading Siakam, not extending him, not getting more for him. Because right now, I mean, Bruce Brown, Wara, these picks, it's not looking good. Unless these picks pan out, this might be one of the worst Raptors trades. I get that. I really do that. The Raptors fumbled in terms of waiting too long, trading him too late, not getting a package that you should have got in this position. And if the picks don't magically pan out, yeah, it's going to end up being one of the worst trades. I get all that. However, people saying you should have extended Siakam. This is the guy you don't want to build around. This is the guy you gave up on. Look, Siakam is talented. We also got to look at the fit, right? He's in a great position with Indiana. He's got an actual playmaking guard in Halliburton where he can thrive off of. If Siakam gets extended on the Raptors, they're a playing first-round exit team at best. And you're cap hell for a treadmill team. So the Raptors, they waited. That was the mistake. However, given the situation, they needed to move on from Siakam versus bringing him back on the max deal, which would have just put him in such a bad position to be a middle of the pack team, or lose him for absolutely nothing. So I would do it all over again if I had to, if the circumstances were the ones that presented themselves in January, where Masai basically had to move on, and he did.
The part that I disagree with, let me backtrack. The only part of the Siakam trade stuff that's being discussed at the moment is that they waited too long.
Yes,
that's the only thing I agree with.
100%.
The revisionist history that, oh man, can't believe we traded Pascal. Dog. Let's have a real conversation with ourselves about who Pascal Siakam is as a player. Really good player. Let's start there. Really good player, right? He is at best an all-NBA caliber player, but he is not, he's not at best a best player on a championship team. So from the Raptors perspective, let's give Scotty more of the reins. Let's finally, and yes, they should have done it a while ago, right?
Yeah.
At the latest, really, they should have done it 2023 trade deadline. So February 2023, a year ago.
Exactly.
At the latest, no, you know what? I'll give them some more blessing here, I guess. I don't know, more grace. The latest they definitely should have did it would have been summer 2023. That's really what the latest should have been. Would have been last summer. We were in Vegas. We thought they were going to break it then, and they didn't. That's when they should have done it. It was the same team. It was Indiana, right?
And the Hawks with that package.
Should have did it then. So, that's where I agree. Everything else, I just think is revisionist history at this point. And if Pascal Siakam was averaging 12 points a game in the playoffs, nobody would be saying jack anything right now. Actually, they would. They'd be saying this. Oh, man, I'm just so freaking glad, brother, that we traded Pascal Siakam last the trade deadline this year, brother. Bruce Brown is going to be awesome on this team, brother. Like that. That is what we'll be saying. Like my Hulk Hogan impersonation there. That is what they would be saying right now, right? Pascal's awesome, but like you said, him playing next to Tyrese Halliburton and just the spacing that team has is incredible. And the Raptors realize, you know what? Look, we're going to start this retool. Pascal, where do you want to go? I don't know if they asked him where he wanted to go, but Pascal, we're going to trade you here. Okay, we're going to let you go compete in the playoffs with a young guard in Tyrese Halliburton, who's establishing himself as one of the best guards in the league. And I don't want to take this to be taken as a knock at Darko, but a great coach in Rick Carlisle. We just don't know what Darko is yet, so don't take that as a knock at him. A great coach in Rick Carlisle, a bunch of guys that can shoot the hell out of the ball, right? And I mean, the fit with him and Miles Turner is so fun.
Yeah,
right?
stretch five who can hit threes, something the Raptors didn't have.
A good screener as well. That's such a fun combination. You pair that with Hallie and Andrew Nimhard and Ben Math when he was healthy, and Aaron Neesmith. They got some guys in Indiana, right? It's Pascal's being great right now, and that's fun, right? But for the Raptors' direction going forward, that was the right decision to make. It was just late, and that sucks.
And I'm still dying on the hill that, like, look, I still don't think Barnes and Siakam would have coexisted the way people thought. It was always one or the other. You needed one or the other to build around, surround him with the right type of players and shooters. And obviously, Scotty's that guy, younger, more upside. Siakam was on the last year of his deal. You were going to have to pay him a lot of money, number one guy's money to be on this team. And I agree with you, Sean. He's not a number one guy. I feel like just people are prisoners of the moment. The Pacers are not winning the series. I'll tell you that much. This could come back to haunt me of a bad take, but I don't see the Pacers winning the series. And we're going to look back at the end of the series and say, look, we all overreacted to 2 really, really good games, but still, where did that get the Pacers? First round exit. That was their ceiling. And that would have been the Raptors ceiling if they had kept Siakam. Sure, the Raptors would have been able to get into that play-in. I mean, it was a weak play-in, but the Raptors, they were not going to win against the top 3 seeds right now in the NBA with that team, quickly, RJ, Siakam, Barnes, Pirtle. It was just a weird fit. It was just a weird fit. And Siakam's really playing amazing basketball because, the pieces around him, he's actually got shooters around him, something you didn't have in Toronto. Turner, like you said, has been awesome. Halliburton. So it's just been a really good situation for Siakam. And look, I'm happy for Siakam. He's getting his respect. He's getting his notoriety, his recognition. But again, if I had to do it over, I'm picking a rebuild all day, every day. It was a long time coming, and they needed to commit to Barnes. And I'm glad the Raptors did do something because, look, I know it wasn't a good haul back, but hell of a lot better than losing the guy for nothing. So we just got to hope and pray that those picks turn out to being good. Now, is 19 or the Sixers or the Pacers 2026 pick going to end up being a Siakam? No, probably highly unlikely, but you never know. That 2026 pick, you never know what it can be. It is top 4 protected, but hey, who knows? 2 years from now, who knows?
Does it keep going back if it doesn't convey? Is it one of those type of deals, or is it like
it's just 2026 top 4 protected? The thing is too, like, okay, Bruce Brown's not going to be on this team, but like, could you get a pick for him? So like, that would be another asset you get in the trade. So I get it's frustrating because, like, who would have thought, honestly, like, you would have gotten more value for OG Anunoby than you did for Siakam, who on paper was your better player, and that turned out to be the case. But it was just such a bad position. The Raptors were in Siakam because he has the liberty of going to another team. So obviously, like, teams were going to give away the kitchen sink for potentially half a season of Siakam. Because that's the thing. The Pacers, like, it was a really good trade for them because they didn't give up one of their prime, like, prospects. And even if, obviously, they could get burned by the end and Siakam walks, but, like, imagine if they had given up, like, a Walker or, like, one of their younger guys and then Siakam leaves, it would have really been rough. So I think that's where, like, a lot of Raptors fans, too, are upset. It's like you couldn't get at least one of their young pieces. But again, the Raptors had zero leverage, and Masai had to get something done, or else he would have just been in a very, very bad predicament this summer. So I think we got to leave it all in the past. Wish Siakam the best, but just know rebuild had to be done. We all agree it was a year too late. Yes, Masai fumbled in that regard. Should have started this thing 2023 at the trade deadline. So yeah, waited too long. Didn't get the package that you wanted, but both sides had to move on. It's as simple as that. So I mean, we'll see.
I kind of like made it weird in my head, right? But the pick with the Pacers, top 4 protected me if it's in the top 4, which is unlikely because the Pacers seem to be trending upwards. If it's in the top 4, it goes to Indiana. If it does not convey by 2027, so it's top 4 protected in 2026 and 2027, excuse me. If the pick has not conveyed by 2027, the Pacers will instead convey Utah's 27 second round pick and Dallas' 2028 second round pick. But like I said, I made it weird in my head. It's like it's gonna convey in one of those two. Like the Pacers should be a really good team, and like the Raptors should be getting like a 14 through 25 pick or whatever.
I doubt they're gonna be like a Wizards in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So well, and then like obviously they got 19, so we'll see if like the picks end up panning out. But yeah, look, it's going to end up being a very underwhelming trade package unless Masai finesses for like Bruce Brown and gets another pick that turns into something. And that just creates this whole trade tree. But I get it. Like, just you got to move on. Like, the Raptors would have been in cap hell. They would have just been stuck in the middle. And this is what we wanted. We wanted the Raptors to pick a damn direction. So the Raptors finally picked a direction, and people are still complaining. And they're still, bickering. And again, let the whole Siakam with Pacers breathe, because if if the Pacers don't get out of the first round, those same people saying what they've been saying after just 2 games are going to be awfully quiet, because at the end of the day, it does come down to winning. And just as he's had 2 great games, that can turn into 2 not so hot games. So, yeah, I think we all got to just come to grips with what has happened and just look forward to this rebuild around Barnes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in agreement with you.
All right. So I just wanted to throw that in here because it has been a talking point. Let us know, guys, down below. What are your thoughts about the Siakam trade, and kind of where do you fall on the spectrum when it comes to that? All right, we're going to end with something fun because Sean and I didn't get to do our picks last week, mainly because of me, because I wasn't even ready with my bracket, honestly. When we record these pods, it's like Wednesday, so I wasn't ready with my picks until the Saturday. But we're still relatively early in all these series. I mean, Miami just won. That was looking like it was the quickest series, but not so fast. So I guess, yeah, we'll just go quickly through who we got winning each series leading up to our NBA finals and our champions. So, Sean, I'll start with you. First round, go through the rounds.
Sure. So I got Boston in 5. I mean, Miami winning game 2 was fun, but like Spo's a legend, and that's why they won game 2. But no, my Boston in 5. New York in 7. That was my initial pick. I'm trying to keep these picks as like consistent, my initial ones that I post on my Twitter page as possible.
You could change, by the way. You could.
No. So like the Boston in 5 pick, obviously I had to change because I had Boston in 4 at first and Miami won a game. So hey, but Boston in 5, New York in 7. This is gonna end up as my worst take. I had Orlando winning, which after watching those first 2 games, like, yeah, absolutely not. I'm gonna go Cleveland in 5. So I'm going from Orlando in 7, I think, to like Cleveland in 5. Orlando's gonna win a game in Orlando in front of that home crowd. It's gonna be fun. Orlando's just undermatched. They're like a year or 2 away. And then what's the last? Oh, Indiana, Milwaukee. I'm still like really stuck on this series. I think I'm gonna go Indiana in 7. I think I had Indiana in 6 at first, but I'm gonna go Indiana in 7 for right now.
And what's the status on Giannis? Like, is he coming back anytime soon?
I don't know. And that's why, like, if you guaranteed me Giannis's return by no later than game 4, I would say Milwaukee in 7.
Yeah.
And then West, Denver in 5 now at this point. I think LA's probably comes out hot game 3 in front of that crowd. I mean, hopefully, right? And has some fun. It gets but at the end of the day, I just don't see it. What I'm missing? Oh, Minnesota in 6, OKC in 5, realistically, and then Dallas in 7. I'm still rolling with that pick. So yeah, that's my first round.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with the East. I did say originally, and I'm sticking with it. Celtics in 6. I see Miami getting another one. I think they're going to make things interesting. I did say from the start Cavaliers in 6, but it's looking like it could be a very quick series, like 5 games. Yeah. And then Knicks Sixers. This has been such a fun series, man. I can't wait till the next game. Like, tomorrow is going to be a movie at the Garden. Or today, because that's when we're releasing the podcast, Thursday. Yeah, you know what? The Sixers were my dark horse, and I'm not gonna back down from the pick. Look, they're down 0-2. They could have easily won game 2. It was such a crazy way for them to lose that game. Nick Nurse, he had the timeout, didn't get granted it. Clearly, you could see him calling for timeout. I think Philadelphia finds a way. I just think Nick Nurse is a tremendous coach. We talk about him and Spo being the best 1 and 2 in these playoffs. I think the Sixers find a way, so I'm sticking with my Sixers in 7 pick. And then I'm gonna stick with my Milwaukee in I think I said 6 originally. I'm gonna go with 7. I do think Giannis comes back at some point, 5 through 7, and I think they get it done. So that's the East. West, I'm gonna go with OKC in 6. Pelicans could have easily stole game 1. They're down right now. And then I'm gonna go with Nuggets, and honestly, I'm gonna go Nuggets in 4, man. Like, I know that's something you're gonna hear, but like, I really see them sweeping the Lakers again, man. Like, they're just inside their heads right now, and yeah, it's gonna be tough for the Lakers to even win one. I think at this point they had to win one of those first two, and then where I might switch my pick just because they're dysfunctional right now. I had Suns in 6, but Minnesota, man, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, like these guys are balling. I think I'm going Minnesota in 6. So I'm switching my pick there. Lone switch so far. And then Mavs Clippers, just another extraordinary series. I'm gonna stick with my Mavs in 7 pick. I think that goes 7. Like, that's a lock to go 7.
Yeah. All right, so we're on our second round now, right?
Yeah, second round East.
All right, so for right now, I'm going to keep my picks pretty much locked because I haven't changed any of my series winners. Yeah, I don't think. You know what? Actually, let me make sure. Well, it doesn't matter. My conference finals ultimately ends up the same still. All right, so East, Boston, and Cleveland. I'm going to go Boston in 6. Cleveland is a good defense. Donovan Mitchell's fun. I just think I still think Boston is just the best team in the East. And then New York and Indiana at this point, also New York in 6. I think New York's defense, I think Brunson's the better player. This is a way better matchup for Brunson for a playoff series. Whereas Philly, I think Philly's like toughness and just like defensive minded coaching with Nick Nurse is kind of like giving Brunson a tough time. I think the opposite would be the case in the Knicks Pacer series. So give me Knicks in 6 in that one. So my Eastern Conference Finals is Knicks Celtics, the 1 and 2 seed. And then out west, I got OKC Dallas. I got OKC in 7. That would be my favorite playoff series of the entire playoffs, right? That would be so freaking fun. My MVP personally in Luca versus my third place guy in SGA. By the way, real quick tangent on the MVP thing. I really don't give a damn who wins MVP. All 3 guys are well more than deserving. You can like convince me in like 90 seconds to pick any one of those 3. But I got OKC. Sorry, I almost said 3 different teams. I said Dallas, then I almost said Golden State. Then I finally get back to OKC. I got OKC in 7 over Dallas, and then Denver, Minnesota. I got Denver in 6. That'll be a really fun series.
Yeah,
a really like back and forth series. Actually,
Yeah.
that 6 games might not do it justice in terms of like how close it really be, but that's gonna be a really close series. I got Denver in 6.
Yeah, that would be fun. East, yeah, I got Celtics over Cavs. I think it'll be a quick one, 5 games.
Okay.
I just don't think, I don't know. I don't trust in the Cavaliers. I just think they're taking advantage of a young Orlando team that's like a year or 2 away from being like a serious player in the East. I'm going to stick with my Sixers pick. I said it from the start, Sixers. I see them having like a Miami Heat run. They're going to get to the conference finals. I think they beat the Bucks in 6. That'll be fun with the whole Doc Rivers going up against his old team and losing. And then East, I got West. I got OKC, Dallas. I got Dallas. I agree with you though. It's going to be such a great matchup. Just Luka, Shea. I'm going to go Dallas in 7. I really think Dallas, if they could get by the Clippers, I said, whoever wins that series is going to have a great shot at potentially beating the Nuggets. And then I just gave it away. I got the Nuggets against the Timberwolves, but I originally did have the Suns, so I did change one series winner. But yeah, the Suns I think are cooked. And Minnesota, this is such a fun team. Like last year, remember, they took on the Nuggets in the 1-versus-8 matchup, and they did get a game. And they were kind of showing you, like, okay, like this team,
they're figuring this thing out.
Figuring it out, and they could potentially take that leap. And obviously, has been huge. McDaniels shutting guys down. So that would be just an absolutely amazing series. And Minnesota could really challenge, I think, Denver, but I would go Denver in. I'm going to go Denver in 7. I think that would go the full 7 games.
All right. Do we want to still go series by series, or just do our conference finals?
Just do it all in one. Yeah. Who's your NBA? Yeah.
So, my Western Conference Finals. Let's start out West. I think these are the 2 best teams in the West and 2 of the 3 best teams in the league. I got Denver in 6. I don't feel good about that, but part of me does think that if it got to 7, OKC might just win. In front of that crowd, dude, that crowd would be rocking for a game 7 to get them to the finals for the first time since 2012
Yeah,
right?
the KD guy. Yeah. Let me
That
just say this: you're the highest. Like, you're the only guy that I can think of who's like super high on OKC. Like, actually getting to this point, it's
I
crazy.
love OKC. I went as
Yeah.
far. I still have the tweet bookmark. I had OKC in the conference finals last year in March. Like,
Wow.
season still going on. I said my conference. Now the other team I had them facing is completely off. I had OKC versus the Lakers in the conference finals this year. But
50% is good.
50%. I do have Denver. I just think they're the best team, which might be spoiling my later pick. I got Boston beating New York in 6, I think. That series can be really like up or down though. Like Boston's so, I don't want to use the word fraudulent, but they're so like inconsistent that New
Yeah.
York can just like roll off a few games in that series, I think, and make it interesting and make it a game 7. But I'll go Boston in 6. I'm not going to overthink it. I just think they're a better team. I think they've been the best team in the East all season long. And then my finals matchup, Denver and Boston, I got Denver in 6. Denver's the best team in the league. They got the best player in the league. They got the second best coach in the league and the best coach remaining after Spo got outed in the first round in both of our playoff predictions. Yeah. So yeah, I got Denver in 6. Denver repeats as champs for the first time since the Golden State Warriors team, first team to do it.
Yeah. KD, Steph, KD and
Clay,
Steph led Warriors. Clay, yeah, Draymond.
right?
Yeah, you know what? That was the ideology I had with these picks. Like, literally don't overthink it. And I have the exact same final. I got Celtics in 7 over the Sixers, and then I'm gonna go with Denver over the Mavs. I think there'll be a 6-7 game series. And then honestly, looking at this finals, like, yeah, I originally did say Celtics, but I mean, they lose like the way that they did against Miami. It just makes you think like this team, they could be so dominant, so great, but then they have these hiccups that make you think like this is the Celtics team that chokes. They're notorious to doing so. So, I mean, I don't want to change my pick, but I think I am. Like, the Nuggets are too damn good. Like, just to see how they're able to pull out these wins. Like, the Lakers have been playing good basketball. Like, those 2 games, especially in game 2, I still don't know how they did not win that game. Like, I know Sean will go on a tangent, but like the fact that they're just doing this to teams, Jokic best player, yeah, Mike Malone, the supporting cast, I think it goes 7 regardless. But yeah, I would not be surprised if the Nuggets win. But I guess I don't want to cheap out here. I'll stick with the Celtics. But I know the Celtics are gonna just they're gonna prove
Boo.
they're gonna stumble at some point. It's just the Boston Celtics DNA, man. Like them losing game 2 against Miami, I lost faith in them already. But I'll stick with the Celtics. It goes 7. It goes 7 regardless. Like Nuggets Celtics is the matchup the NBA wants. That would be a movie.
That would be a movie. Man, that would be fun. I'm rooting for the Celtics downfall. Although, man, Denver fans are getting really annoying. I mentioned, so like, how about neither of them make it, and we get an OKC Knicks finals? The league would be pissed if that was the finals matchup.
I would honestly, I wouldn't be upset if the Knicks made it to the finals. Like basketball just seems better when the Knicks are good. Like, do you see the Garden, man? Like that's on my bucket list to go to to New York for a playoff game. Like that could be a team of destiny. Like that, they're just playing unbelievable right now. Is Randall slated to come back at all? He's done for the year.
No,
he's done, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done.
That's a shame. That's a shame because this is really the Knicks, like a great chance for the Knicks to get to conference finals and beyond.
Yeah,
especially if the Celtics slip. So, but yeah, those are our picks, guys. Let us know your finals matchup down below. Your NBA champion. The NBA playoffs have been absolutely fantastic. All these games, for the most part, have been really, really fun. And yeah, that's going to conclude today's pod. Sean, as always, thank you for coming on and doing your thing. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can follow me on X at Sean_DAVI. Go check out my pod, Sports Headline Show. Cover the league. And yeah, I'm sure I'll have Luke on at some point this summer. I already have the video in mind and everything. So go check it out. And yeah, Luca, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, anytime. We'll definitely have Sean back on as we get closer to the draft. Once we know if the Raptors are going to keep their top 6 pick or not, we'll do a little mock draft on the show, go more in detail. I know we touched on it a bit, but we'll have like a full show dedicated to it. So I'll definitely have Sean back on for that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your continued support of this pod. Drop a like and subscribe on your way out. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review wherever you get this podcast, Apple, iTunes, or Spotify. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe.